Hey y'all, I'm Lindsey Thomas with the National Deer Association, and I've got here the hooves of a buck that was killed in Georgia by NDA member Keaton Smith on December 30th, just recently toward the end of the Georgia deer season. And he let us know about it because it appeared to be very sick. It could barely walk. It was very skinny. He shot it and used his buck tag basically to put it out of its misery. But he noticed, among other things, that it had very strange hooves. They were cracked, they were broken. He asked Georgia DNR about it and the University of Georgia. They both confirmed to him that this is a classic symptom of a buck or a deer that has survived hemorrhagic disease. So what is hemorrhagic disease? You may have called it EHD. You might have called it bluetongue. These are all variations of the same family of viruses that all come under the heading of hemorrhagic disease. And when a deer gets this, usually they get the virus, they get it from a biting gnat, usually in late summer, early fall. It causes high temperature and a number of other internal symptoms that kills many deer, but not all deer are killed, some survive. When the deer is fighting the disease and the virus, hoof growth actually stops. Just like your fingernails grow, so do hooves, and when a deer is battling hemorrhagic disease, hoof growth actually stops, and if the deer survives and begins to recover, when hoof growth resumes, you end up with cracks and separations that cause pieces of the hoof to literally fall off as the hoof regrows. So you can see that this hoof is cracked and one of the sides is broken off completely. It's a nub. Here's another one here, a rear hoof that is completely nubbed off from the regrowth. This one is another good example where you can see what's called sloughing, where the hoof has cracked and separated and is wanting to slough off the tip there. Another hind leg, an entire hoof was gone and it was literally down to the bone, as you can see here. This is classic hemorrhagic disease. This buck had survived hemorrhagic disease last fall and was trying to recover. Now, would he have recovered? Chances are he would not have. This deer was suffering from fairly severe symptoms. There are internal lesions on the organs that cause serious stress, nutritional difficulty, and of course movement difficulty. So, you know, if this buck had run into a coyote, it would not have been good. And finding enough nutrition to get through winter, particularly in areas where winter is very tough, can be tough on these deer. But so Keaton Smith did the right thing, putting this deer down, and of course a deer that is this ill, you don't want to eat it. But if you're out and you're hunting sheds this winter, or any time, during the hunting season or any other time of the season, you come across a dead deer, a dying deer, carcass of a deer, examine the hooves and look for things like this. Look for cracked, broken hooves. It will usually be on all four hooves. You'll see the symptoms. That deer had hemorrhagic disease and survived it and was beginning to recover. Some deer that are recovering are in better shape than others. Again, this Georgia buck was in very poor shape and likely would not have survived winter. So to learn more about hemorrhagic disease, it's a virus that outbreaks in random areas throughout the country depending on weather, usually in hot weather, usually in dry weather, in the late summer and early fall. We don't always have outbreaks every year. Some outbreaks are worse than others, but deer populations always recover. If you want to learn more about the hemorrhagic disease virus, known as EHD or bluetongue, visit the National Deer Association website at deerassociation.com and search for EHD. We'll teach you more about it.